Good evening. My name is Dr. Norman Thagard. It is my esteemed pleasure to be your personal guide on this extraordinary musical journey across our solar system and beyond. From our humble beginnings, we have looked into the night sky and wonder. Some of us imagine science, some of us imagine magic, and some imagine a little of both. Gustav Holst looked up into the night sky and saw his muse. He was fascinated by our solar system. Centuries before his time, these visible objects were given human or godlike qualities, particularly the wanderers, those stars that moved in predictable paths across an otherwise stationary backdrop. These wanderers would eventually be known as the planets, and Holst drew upon these heavenly bodies with their man-made characteristics as inspiration for his greatest composition. His interest, however, was more astrological than scientific, which is why Earth is not included. For each planet, excluding Pluto, which had not yet been discovered, Holst wrote a short tone poem trying to describe in musical terms their personality. Tonight, you will experience a collision of ideas, both astronomical and astrological. While listening to this music, you will see projected on the screen planetary images collected by various spacecraft launched by man and various telescopes on Earth, as well as the Hubble telescope in deep space. The men and women who collected these images were driven by science, curiosity, and wonder. You will see and hear, side by side, the musical, mystic vision of Holst and the discoveries of science. When Holst started sketching this composition in 1914, Europe was already in turmoil, with even worse horrors just around the corner. By the time of the first performance of the planets in 1917, Europe was already imploding in conflict. The impact to the modern ear of the power and savagery of the first movement of this piece is palpable. We can actually feel it as well as hear it. It is hard to imagine what its impact might have been on its first audience, the first people to ever hear Mars, the bringer of war.